Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So this is kind of a weird place to start a video, but I wanted to start a reading vlog and I'm just at the library picking up a couple new books to read. This is the one that I got the second book last time I was at the library, not realizing it was the second book. But apparently I've got a bit of a theme going on. We've got like a black background and like the yellowish gold writing. So I thought that was just an interesting coincidence because that was not on purpose. But for this vlog, one thing that I want to do is I have a lot of books that I want to read and I have a hard time narrowing them down and choosing one. So what I'm planning to do is in sets of 3, send a picture of 3 books to a family member and then ask them to choose which one of those books that I should read so that I don't have to make the decision myself. Because, you know, I'm really bad at making decisions. I get a lot of decision paralysis, so I just want to make somebody else make the choice for me. So the first person that I'm going to ask is my partner Rory, but some of the books that I want to offer him are at home, so I'm going to go home and then see what book he wants me to read. Alright, so the book that my partner chose for me is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. And I think he mostly chose this one partially just because it's like a library book, so he knows just like I have to return it at some point, but also it's like something slightly different from the other things that I offered him. I have read Two Towers before, so I think he was kind of like, why would you reread that? But I like rereading books, so I'll get to that later. But yeah, so I'm excited to pick this one up. I'm going to, I think, have a bit of a snack and then get started. Hello, welcome back. I'm now 100 pages into Black Sun out of 450, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I think the writing style and the structure of the story is really well done. It has kind of multiple perspectives and also like multiple timelines, so we'll get the same character in like the present timeline and then we'll get them like in the past. And personally, I really like when stories are told this way because you get like, okay, this is like what's happening now, and then you slowly sort of get tidbits of what happened in the past to make it the way that it is now. And personally, I just like the complexity of this, and I find it very like satisfying once you like learn all the little things that have added up to the current status quo or whatever. But yeah, so far this is quite good, and hopefully it continues to be enjoyable because I already have the second book here, so I'll be able to knock them both out pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm gonna go do my workout, and then I have some other projects that I want to work on, and then I'll probably get back to this slightly later today because I'm enjoying it, as I said, and I would really like to make some more progress today. Hello, so it is the next day. I only read about another 30 pages or so of Black Sun yesterday, so I don't really have too much of an update, but so far I'm enjoying it. Like recently I've been really kind of wanting to read something like a little bit different. Like I feel like I've read a lot of kind of like typical fantasy recently, so I've been wanting to like mix it up a little bit. And I read City We Became, and that was definitely a little bit different. And then this one, it is kind of more along the lines of like a traditional sort of fantasy, but it's got some different elements that I feel like are not super typical, so I'm enjoying that about it. And it's not super long either. I feel like I've been reading also a lot of kind of long books, and so I've been wanting a few like a little bit shorter books just so I can like bang a bunch out and feel good about it. But yeah, that is kind of all the update I have for now, but I'm gonna sit down now and try to read a bunch more of this. Okay, so I have a reading update for you all. I just finished Black Sun, and I think I still need some time to like consider my thoughts before I give it a review or a rating. But I will say that if you have been considering picking this up, then I do definitely recommend it. You should do that. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where everything goes in the next book. I'm not sure if it's a duology or if there's going to be one coming out after this, but I suppose I'll find that out when I finish reading this book. But I'm about to go for a run now, and I'm going to start a new audiobook called An Immense World by Ed Young. But after that, I'm going to choose the 3 books that I'm going to ask my next friend or family member to choose from. I think I'm probably going to ask my sister, so hi if you're watching this. But I'm not totally sure what those 3 books are going to be yet. I think I want to choose all different ones from the first time just to keep things interesting. So yeah, I'm going to go do my run, come back, and then I will let you know what I'm going to be reading next. Alright, so my sister has given us a choice for our next book, but first I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the books that I offered her, just so we are all aware. So we have Fool's Errand. This is the first book in the Tawny Mound trilogy, and I would really like to finish the Realm of the Elderlings series world this year, and I'm pretty sure this is the next one that I'm supposed to read, although I've kind of read them all sort of out of order, just in like whatever order that I felt like. So there's that, but she did not choose this. And next we have A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. I wanted to throw in something a little bit different, you know, and this has been on my shelf for a long time. And in my yearly book bingo, I have a square for a book that's been on my shelf for over a year, which this one definitely has. So reading it would fulfill that purpose as well. And I also just feel like I should get around to actually reading this because I find this kind of stuff quite interesting. It's not very long. It's like 100, almost 200 pages, but it is quite like complicated information. So to like actually like absorb the information takes longer, so the reading process is longer than you would expect for a 200-page book. But she also did not choose this, but she did choose, and I got pretty lucky here because it's kind of what I wanted anyway. She chose Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse, which is of course the sequel to Black Sun, which I just read. So, and that was kind of the one that I wanted to read too, that my partner picked. So I've been getting really lucky this week. So yeah, this is our next read. I'm really excited to see what else is going to happen in this universe, pick up where Black Sun left off, and also find out if this is just a duology or if there are going to be more books in this series, because I don't actually know, and I could look it up, but I kind of think I'm just going to read it and find out. Seems logical. But yeah, I will let you know when I get started on this. Thursday. I didn't really do much in terms of updates yesterday, but you would have seen that I went to the book outlet with my mom. We spent most of the day kind of hanging out, chilling, and then in the evening I started Fevered Star, and I got, I think, 150 pages. I think that's how many. Yeah, around 150 pages in. I think it's only about 400 pages, so I should be able to finish that up today, and so far I am enjoying it. But I am thinking that based on like where all the like storylines and stuff are and like how much is left, that it's probably gonna have another book, which I'm fine with because I'm enjoying this series. And I think part of the reason I'm enjoying it so much is like the world and stuff like feels pretty like complex, and the characters feel like complex real people, but it's really quick to read, like compared to some of the stuff I read like last week where it was taking me like, I don't know, like 2 hours to read 100 pages. Like I read this 150 pages in less than 2 hours. I don't know exactly how much time, but it was not that long. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. But yeah, the plan for today is I need to continue applying for some jobs, since that's what I'm doing at the moment, trying to get a job now that I've graduated. And then I have some other video stuff that I want to work on, and then I will hopefully get around to doing some reading. But yeah, that's the plan, and I will check back in when I'm actually reading.
Hi. What you doing? You don't live here.
Hello. So I'm about another 50 or so pages into Fevered Star. Still really enjoying it. And then, as you saw, I made myself a wrap for lunch. So I'm going to eat my lunch, read my book, and then I'm not totally sure yet. It depends what time my partner gets home. But yeah, that is the plan for now. All right, please disregard the sounds of construction. There's not much I can do about that. But I'm now on chapter 22, page 243 of Fevered Star. And yeah, I feel like there's a pretty low chance that all this is gonna wrap up by the end of this book, because it's only like a 400-page book, so we shall see. I mean, it's possible, but I kind of feel like there's going to be a third one, or there already is. I don't know. But I have been taking a bit of a break from reading and working on my reading journal. You can see my super sophisticated setup here for filming that. My tripod is literally just like leaning. That leg is in the air. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, but I kind of want to get up, get a little bit of motion going on, you know? So I'm going to go for a walk in the park and potentially listen to some more of the audiobook that I've also been listening to today, which is An Immense World by Ed Young, which is about like animals and kind of like specifically what he calls, I think it's called like an vault, which is like, I don't really know how to explain the concept. It's kind of like their senses and like what parts of the world and how they like perceive it. So that's been really interesting, and I only have like 4 more days of that audiobook and still like 9 hours to go. So I might listen to that, but that all depends if I can find my Bluetooth earbuds. Like I think I might have left them in my car through the run the other day. So I'm gonna go check there, but if they're not there, then I don't know what's happened to them, and that's very concerning because I need them. But yeah, I will check back in a bit.
I was trying to read, you know. What are you doing?
Good morning. So last night I finished Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse, and I really enjoyed it. I think it does suffer a little bit from like middle book syndrome, because there is another one coming out next year, I think, where the problem is kind of like a lot happens, a lot gets set up in like the first book, and then there's usually like in like first book some sort of like incident at the end where like either they get set back a little bit or they move forward a little bit. And then in the next book, the middle books, they're usually just kind of working on getting things ready for like the final showdown or whatever in the last book. And that does sort of happen a bit in this, where we're kind of just like working on the in-between stuff. This is just kind of an essential part, I think, of stories, is that we have to work to get to where we want to go. But I would say that the things that happen here are interesting. We get some good character kind of development growth, but I would have liked a little bit more, I don't know, it needed a little something something, and there was kind of one part that really threw me off, but I think I will save talking about that for my monthly wrap-up. But the next thing that I need to do is ask somebody else to choose my next book. I'm gonna ask my mother, and these are the books that I'm gonna offer her. First, we have A Magic Steeped in Poison. I got this at the bookstore the other day with her, so I feel like she might choose this because she saw me buy it. And then I have a couple books from the library. I have On Writing. I really need to either read this or return it because I'm pretty much at the end of my time, and I renewed it like the maximum number of times, I think, because I just haven't got around to reading it. And then finally we have The Shadow of What Was Lost. This is a big one, so I sort of saved it for the final one in case she chooses it, so that I can at least if I don't finish it in this video, I won't feel so bad, because at least I've gone to some other things. But yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of these three and send it over to her and see what she chooses for me. But yeah, I'm going to guess that she's gonna choose this one, or she's just gonna be like, oh, pick whatever you want. It's like, that's not the point. So we shall see. All right, so I don't think I updated it all yesterday, but it is now Saturday, and this is the book that my mom ended up choosing for me. It's The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington, and this is the first book in the Licanius trilogy. And I've only read like 30 odd pages, so I don't really have too much of an opinion yet. I obviously haven't got very far, but it seems decent so far. We're getting sort of introduced to what seems to be probably our main character, a little bit of like kind of world building. So yeah, so far it's decent, but I haven't really obviously read enough to really judge it yet. So I'm going to do a little bit of reading now, and then I will give an update when I have some more thoughts. I'm now up to 100 pages. Still a long way to go, but this is about 700 pages, a little bit less. And so far, I'm still enjoying it. Seems like a lot more kind of complex things are starting to be introduced, so it'll be interesting to see where those go. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go make some dinner and then probably read some more. I'm hanging out by myself this evening, so I'll probably just read until bedtime.